It's almost here. I'm so excited. In just a few days, of course, we find out which David is going to be our new American Idol.
So it's either Tulsa musician David Cook or a Utah teenager, 17 years old.
I know, can you believe it?
Yeah, a much older voice,
yeah.
David Archuleta. Fox23's Carrie Netherton is covering the American Idol finale. She joins us with an update live from Hollywood.
Hey,
hi, Carrie.
In unison.
Hi, guys. How are you guys doing there?
We are good, but we are so very jealous of where you are right now.
I'm sorry. Well, if it makes you feel any better, it's really, really hot right here. In fact, apparently it's been a record-setting weekend here for heat in LA. I can tell you my hair actually looked better at the beginning of the day. So it's been kind of that, if that makes you feel any better. But I want to show you where we're at. This is right next to the Nokia Theater. This is the new site for the American Idol finale. So obviously a much bigger venue than the Kodak Theater. There's going to be 4,000 more seats. So everyone's pretty excited about that. Now right next to me, here behind me, they have this whole thing set up from the So You Think You Can Dance. They're doing a little promo here. They're trying to set a Guinness World Record attempt for the largest simultaneous dance mat routine. They've got all the dance mats down, but I don't think they've got all the people yet. So we're going to see how they're going to do on that. Meanwhile, talking about American Idol, there were 100,000 people who auditioned this year for Season 7. And Season 7 actually highlighted some of the talent we have in Oklahoma. Although Tulsa musician David Cook is now one of the last two standing, he's not the only Okie to do well this season on American Idol.
This is the window.
Tulsa and Elena Whitaker made it all the way to the top 20. Looking back, the most difficult part for her was song choice.
Figuring out what songs to do, and you have to think about what America's gonna like, what the judges are gonna like, and you can't really tell, so it's hard to think about that kind of stuff.
All on my own.
OSU student Kyle Inslee almost made it to the top 24. Judge Simon Cowell said the show was making a big mistake by eliminating him so early.
I felt like I left on a good note because, if I would have made it further, I'm sure Simon would have probably been rude to me later on in the competition.
I feel no shame.
And Colton Swan from Muskogee also made it to the top 50.
It has been a trip. It's stressful, it's exciting, it's so many words that combine.
All of these contestants recently performed at the Mabee Center. And they're not surprised Cook is still in Hollywood.
He's really cool. He's real deep. He's a character, man.
And of course, some people would argue that some of those Oklahomans should have made it a little bit farther in the competition. But now we've got David versus David. We can tell you that David is going to win. The question is which one is it going to be? So
very nice.
That's the question. I can tell you, yeah, it makes it easy. But coming up at 5:45, they sat down earlier today and talked about the finale and how they're feeling. Because obviously, walking into something like this, the Nokia Theater, it can be a little intimidating. David Cook said that's when he realized that it's all starting to set in and just how big the show is. So
how are they feeling, Carrie?
Big, exciting thing here.
How are they feeling?
He says he's not nervous. David Cook says he is not nervous.
I guess he gets it out of his system. Yeah, he gets it out of his system. Number one, we want to say we feel really sorry for you in the California sun. That must be tough.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, and it gets bigger every year, doesn't it? I mean, it's not just a show, like you say. It's the real thing when they walk into a venue like that.
It's a phenomenon, Clay. No, it's pretty big. I mean, it's interesting to see who comes back and talks about who comes back from the year before. They always say it's a little bit of an adjustment because they go from being everybody knowing their name and people shouting their name when they're walking down the street to some people knowing their name. And so they're like, oh yeah, I saw you on that show. You were, on American Idol. So it's always interesting to see life after Idol. But also we wanted to tell you that the top 12 minus the two Davids came out and spoke to us earlier. We're going to have some of that for you on at 9. So we have a lot of stuff to show you tonight.
Hey, Carrie, real quick, any scoop on who might be the big entertainers this year?
The only thing they've told us so far is that the Jonas Brothers are going to be playing on Wednesday. However, David Cook did mention that he has a duet, and he's very excited about it, but he would not let anything else out. And then Brooke White says that I asked her if she was going to have a duet, because I could maybe see her with a Carly Simon or something, but she said that you're just going to have to wait and see. So apparently there's a lot of big names. They did say there's going to be a lot of dancing. So all those little medleys that they have, where they're dancing around. the step together. Apparently, there's going to be a lot of those. So
Good
that's
stuff.
something to look forward to also.
Carrie, you seem so excited about
lots
that
of
part.
dance medleys and entertainers.
All right. Carrie Norrington live
Fun
from
times.
Hollywood. We'll hear more from you at
Hot
9 o'clock.
Hollywood. Thanks, Carrie.